So hey guys, and welcome back to Born Traveller. Right, in this video I'm going to teach you how to become a digital nomad. Okay, let's get started. What you need to do is first, you need to take a step back and think about how you're going to make money online, because that's what a digital nomad does. They make money as they travel. So how are you going to do it? Well, first of all, could you just do your existing job, basically, but remotely? Could you work from anywhere with the job you're already doing? If you can do that, then do that. If not, look at the skills you've got and can you turn those skills into a profession? For example, are you a graphic designer? Maybe you can join things like Fiverr.com and start, selling your services online. Are you a web designer? Are you someone who's good at software or programming? These kind of people make quite easy money online. It's just basically you can do it from anywhere. If you're like me and you haven't really got any skills, the most obvious thing to do, like I did, was start teaching English. Teaching English is one of the easiest ways you can travel and make money as you travel. If you have a degree and you have quite good confidence in yourself, then probably becoming a teacher is probably one of the best things to do. Have a look at websites like Cambly. These are great websites where you can get started. There's another one called italki, which is great, but you need to be able to speak two languages fluently. So you can't just teach English, unfortunately. Okay, so you've figured out what you're going to do, and as in work. Now what I recommend doing, try and build that before you go traveling. Try and build some income before you go. It's a lot easier to travel once you've got some kind of income to start with. You can always work on different projects like I do. I teach English, but I'm also working on my YouTube channels that I have as well. So I'm trying to make money in different ways. I think the next thing you've got to consider is, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be a digital nomad? You need to ask yourself, what do I want to achieve out of it? What do I want to get out of it? Is this lifestyle for me? It's very hard to just kind of dip your toe into being a digital nomad. The only way to do it is just to jump in the pool, head first. Just go for it. So you need to really think about, do I want this long-term lifestyle? Because that's really what it is. It's a long-term lifestyle. It's not a short-term one. You're planning for at least 6 months to a year and longer. And it's something you really need to consider. Are you going to miss your friends? Are you going to miss your family? What do you want to see? Why do you want to do this? Is it travel? Is it the freedom of living in different countries? Just ask yourself your goals and how you're going to achieve them and why you're going to achieve them. And that will help you decide where to go and what kind of career you want to do. The next thing you need to think about before you leave is your health. Are you healthy enough to go traveling? I'm going to be honest, one of the things that people forget about is, are you healthy enough? If you have medical conditions already, it's probably not a good idea to be a digital nomad, because wherever you're going, you're in a foreign environment and you're going to be relying on foreign healthcare, which in a lot of places is not as good as probably your home country. So it's definitely something worth considering, but if you think you're healthy enough and you're young enough, then yeah, definitely do it. There's no age limit of when you can go, but definitely think about your health. In terms of health insurance, I would recommend these guys. Go to safetywings.com. These guys are the best ones I've found. You can also use World Nomads, but they're a lot more expensive. Safety Wings, to me, is the one I use, and it's pretty comprehensive. And I've heard good reviews of people who haven't had to claim. It's about $40 a month, but actually because I'm over 40 now, I have to pay $64, so it does go up as you get older. So that's something to take into consideration. Now you need to start planning to become a digital nomad. Right, so what you need to do is, you need to sell anything or get rid of any debts before you leave. You need to basically get your whole life down to one backpack. So all that stuff that you think you need, you don't. If you want to keep some stuff, then obviously with friends and family, maybe you can store some of that stuff. Or if you've got the money, rent a lockup, rent a storage container. But for me, I sold pretty much everything. I've just left a few sentimental things back at my sister's house and a few clothes, not a lot. I basically travel with a 40-litre backpack, and if you want to see the video about my packing, it's here now, about endless travel. So how do you do this? Well, you need to be ruthless. Sell your car, sell your house, sell everything. If you do have a house, maybe you could look at renting it out. That's another way of bringing income in. If you already own it, or maybe it's got a small mortgage, that's an option. Just think about how are you going to maintain it. If you've got friends and family who can look after that for you, that would be brilliant. How do you sell the stuff? Well, I use Gumtree, I use Facebook, I also use car booting, which is probably not that popular in every country, but you know, flea markets, you know, wherever you can sell it. Do a garage sale. Basically, you've got to start getting rid of the stuff you have. You need to go from being a hoarder to a minimalist or essentialist. You don't need a lot of things, and you certainly don't want to carry a lot of things when you're a digital nomad. If you can't get everything you need in a 40-litre backpack, you've got too much stuff. You can buy things on the way, and you will adapt your kit to the different environments as you travel. For example, when I go to a cold country, which I'll probably be doing this winter, I'll probably be heading to Kyrgyzstan, I'll probably start buying some more winter clothes. But in these countries, clothes are really cheap, or there is charity shops. You know, there's always options of how to get cheap stuff. Next is where to go. During these COVID times, everything's changed. It is so difficult now as a digital nomad as to where to travel, how to travel. The top 4 places I'd recommend as a digital nomad in June 2021 are these places: Mexico, Kyrgyzstan, Turkey and Egypt. These 4 countries seem to be easiest to travel. They are trying to attract tourists, you know, and they are pretty open. All you generally need is a negative PCR test and you will be able to go. I've watched a lot of these videos, and the one thing they never seem to mention is internet. Internet for a digital nomad is everything. So you need to do a lot of planning about the internet for that particular country. If they don't have good internet, you are not going to be able to do your work there. I promise you that. I've already experienced that. I'm an online teacher and I went to Laos. I stayed 3 days because the internet just was not good enough. I could not get a stable connection. I ended up going back to Thailand. So it is very, very important you consider what type of work you're going to do. If you're a graphic designer, then you really need to consider the cost of how much it's going to cost you in terms of uploading your designs, because you're talking about gigabytes worth of data. So you're going to need a fast, unmetered internet connection. And I think that's something to consider when you're coming from Europe or the US, of how much the internet costs. For example, places like the Philippines and Egypt, internet is not cheap. There's no such thing as unlimited plans. Even Wi-Fi, you have to pay per gigabyte essentially. So it is something really to consider, is where are you going and what kind of work are you doing, and is the internet going to be fast enough? So the dreams of living in the mountains in Nepal or on a beach in the Seychelles might not be realistic because you might not have the internet connection. This is where places like Chiang Mai and Phuket and Bali are brilliant because they have fast Wi-Fi. So guys, that's the basic steps to becoming a digital nomad. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification button, and I'll see you next time.